Welcome everyone. Today we'll have a comprehensive guide for rerolling in Genshin Impact. So there's 3 things I want to touch about, and we'll go through each of them for rerolling. Firstly, if you've heard or you might have not heard, there's a lot of news going on with Reddit with rerolling and the news happening with the Chinese server. So right now the Chinese rerollers are getting banned. We'll go touch on those first, and this will actually formulate the rest of the plans for ours to reroll. Second to that, there are a few registration tricks and methods people are using. Some of them using usernames without actually having an email. Some are using a salted email or +1 email. I'll briefly touch on those. And some of them are using just the standard creating your own email method, and which I will consider to be the safest because of the first one we'll touch on, which is the banning part. Lastly, there are multiple rerolling methods within Genshin Impact, and the top 3 are Rerolling at Adventure Level 5, Rerolling at Adventure Level 7, and lastly, Rerolling at Adventure Level 10, not worth it. So we won't use the last one. We'll only have 2 options. Adventure Level 5 will take us about 15 to 20 minutes. Adventure 7 will take us 30 to 50 minutes. I realize instead of me trying to cover everything, and which I could, there's a lot of information up there on Reddit, on YouTube, and I'll be collecting and sharing you guys the research I've done. And of course, the credits will go to all the content creators, going to the Redditors, and big thank you for them to share all those information. So let's get started on the first part. What's happening with the banning in China server? So greatly appreciated on all the friends on Reddit for sharing those. So Miho is banning rolled 5-star accounts, and why is it happening? So quickly brief reading of it. The original poster, of course, is recommending the fellow global players who are going to be playing on the 28th to not buy an account. I can't stress how important it is to not buy an account this time, because in other games there's rules to not buy because you get banned. Here you guarantee to get banned. After that, you do want to avoid sharing your account with somebody else. We're not sure exactly how they are banning players, but although the cross-platform with the game allows you to play on iPad, on your phone, and on your computer, but there's definitely a feature that's detecting when you share with someone else, they're getting banned because of that. And lastly, this is why I don't want to use any of the cheap tricks with emails, because they're banning a lot of abnormal emails. And if we happen to make the no email method, or maybe the salted method, this might take us into a place where we find an account, 5-star, we use the dodgy email, then we get banned and wasted about a few hours of the day. What I really want to touch on is also the part they shared over here. If anyone could read Chinese, they're actually sharing a bit of the Chinese forum. Fortunately enough, my background is also Chinese, so I actually read a bit of the Chinese over here. And just to summarize, I think our friend over here summarized it perfectly. Let's have a look here. So, our friend over here summarized it perfectly. So firstly, most of those people who are getting banned were the one that purchased the account. And after that, the rerollers who actually did not attempt to sell, they kept the account, but they didn't play on the account. This is likely to be a 24-hour period. And if you make an account and don't play it after getting a 5-star, the developers are assuming that you're actually planning to sell it or to trade it. So maybe after 12 hours, maybe after 24 hours, that account will be monitored and banned. And anything that's special over here is just that the original post on this poster is just saying I contacted the support, and after contacting with support, my logic is correct and I shouldn't be banned, but the support said there's nothing he can do about it. It's basically Miho is having a very tough restriction on the traded accounts, and he happened to be fall under their basically algorithm, and they're saying they won't be able to refund him an account. He can only make a new account. And I think the original post actually wrote a few. He wrote 40+ accounts as well for this one. He wrote for a few of the 5-stars, and they're all gone. And this is why I want to come back to the second part, the current registration method. So next part, we'll look at some of the current registration method with the Reddit post, and there's also some of the YouTubers I want to share with you guys. So what's happening is people are saying you can try tricks like the +1 Gmail, or you can try the salted Gmail, and basically putting a dot between the Gmails. And this works fine. And people are saying that if you go onto this particular website, which is the Miho account website, notice this is actually different to the actual Genshin Impact website. Even if you register on the Miho account, you might still have to come back to register on the Genshin Impact. But from what I heard from our friend Power Gaming, it's that you can be trying to register on the Miko website and try to attempt to log in just through the registration alone. Just to demonstrate, I made a username called MajesticDemo1, and after typing a generic password, I'll be registering. And after registration, what you can see is this doesn't actually require any emails. But there is a small flaw that I want to touch with you guys. Although it doesn't require any emails, and the Redditor and the YouTuber is saying that you can just log in the game with this, and after you find your 5 stars, then link the email with the email that's usable by you. But if the developers are so strict and they are banning a lot of the abnormal account and abnormal emails and abnormal activities with the accounts, we don't want to risk it. It might take us a few hours to even get a good account, so definitely don't want to risk because we could have made the email beforehand. So I'm not recommending using the username method. I'm not recommending using the salted Gmail or the +1 Gmail. I'll still post the Reddits and the YouTuber so you guys can have a look. My recommendation for the registration method is actually to create more emails. So this might seem a little tedious at the time, but I do plan to create at least 20 emails and have those accounts registered. So this way I have at least 20 accounts to be rolling, and if I happen to not find it, I'm happy to create a few more after once the global launch starts. So there's 2 ways to create emails for me. The first way is I can actually register my email with my mobile phone number on Gmail. You can use 1 mobile phone number for 10 Gmails. After that, I can register myself on the MSN, which is run by Microsoft, and I'll be registering for the Outlook. And with Outlook, you can register at least about 10 of them as well. We can then have those emails ready, logging over on the GENSHIN IMPACT website and registering correctly with a proper email. Now that we got the first 2 tedious tasks out of the way, this is actually the fun part, the rerolling part. So firstly, you have to decide, do you want to reroll for the quicker one but only getting some of the fewer rolls with limited units, or do you want to reroll for the longer period one to have another 10 chance of getting the limited banner unit, which is 20? So let's look at the Reddit post who actually spoke about this, the advantage of going for Adventure 5, Adventure 7. I thought about this as well, but I think it's good to research and it's good to read a little bit. And he's absolutely right about, if you are not actually wanting to find Venti, you do not have to go for the second method. The first one is more time efficient. But if you do plan to try Venti, then it can be potentially beneficial to actually go for the Adventure Level 7 method. And I think I might try both methods to see how I like it. If you're also curious about how to exactly reroll for those, I have a few guides ready for us and I made a few research. So firstly, there is a really good video posted by CheraXO, and he actually demonstrated very nicely under 4 minutes to how to exactly reroll with Adventure Level 7. So to quickly summarize the video, I won't go through the whole video with us, but he went through with a fast forward pace and he highlighted that it's not difficult to run to Adventure Level 5 to start the gacha system. The difficult part is picking a pathway. He outlaid a pathway which you actually open up the dungeon, you unlock the dungeon to teleport, and on the way you'll be picking up a few chests, you'll be picking up some of the crucial items, which are the amino Q, which are the 3 of those crucial items for you to use to level up the Shires. So I'll quickly fast forward to the part he actually mentioned about the Shires. So what I really like about his video is that he actually demonstrated the 3 methods of getting 3 Amaroks. Those little things over here, as you can see, he's flying over and grabbing them. And by grabbing them, he's running to the Shire and actually unlocking the Shire and leveling up to Adventure Level 7. So this is a very niche method, and he actually is using a much quicker time than most of the other YouTubers or the Reddit guide I actually found. So I definitely recommend going through this guide for the Adventure Level 7. Further about that, there is a pretty decent video of showing how to reroll with Adventure Level 5, and this is about 17 minutes. We spoke earlier about the guide to take about 15 to 20 minutes, so there isn't that much with Adventure Level 5. Why is that? Is because it's a pretty much fixed path. You just follow the main story, you'll be running towards the city, and after doing a few of the main story quests, which is guided by the little twinkling stars, you'll be able to finish it quite quickly. So Adventure Level 5 is the less thinking, less action involved. Adventure 7 is the one you actually have to fight a few things. You need to collect 3 of the molecules to allow you to level up with the Shire. You also have to clear 3 dungeons for 3 trial characters. So regardless which pathway you take, whether it's Adventure level 5 or Adventure level 7, there's one important factor to take away, and this is the same case for both of the methods. I've actually came across a very helpful video from Zealsambitions, which he explains perfectly why you should be rolling on the beginner's banner over the banner that is the standard banner. So this is the beginner's banner. There's two advantages on the beginner's banner, which is massive for rerollers. The first advantage is that this banner is 20% off. So by rolling 10 times, you only require 8 of the Acquainted Fate. And the second part to that is that they actually have a different loot rate for characters and weapons. The beginner's wish does not include any weapons, so you have the highest chance of getting your characters at 0.6% for each of the rolls, and they are discounted by 20%, keep that in mind. And the second part is that for the standard banner with Jing and Diluc, this is actually not the case. This banner will cost 10 Acquaintance Shard, and this banner does have 10 weapons. So on top of the characters this banner has, I think it has 5 5-star characters, it has 10 weapons. So your chance of getting a 5-star character is only a third of the beginner's banner, let alone the beginner's banner is 20% off. There's a small catch to this, is the permanent banner for the standard banner, this one, it has the guarantee system. The beginner's banner does not have it. But for the rerollers, the guarantee system does not matter, because you're here to get a hero. If you don't get it, you're going to pass to the next account. So the guarantee system actually doesn't help us here. Over here, Zeus went a little deeper. He basically showed, those are the 5 characters that's available, and he showed the 10 weapons that's available. And what you can compare is, after he shows the characters that's available from the beginner's banner, you can see a massive difference. Over here, Zeus actually shows the characters from the beginner's banner, and you can see right away there is 5 characters and there's no weapons. The rates are the same at 0.6%, so it's greatly recommended that you roll in the beginner's banner over the standard banner. To summarize this video, there is a tough stance from the developer side from Miho to take the stance that all accounts that's traded will be banned, and if they suspect your account is trading, they might be banning you as well. So make sure you take the precautions to register correctly. After that, the rerolling method for Adventure level 5 is quite straightforward. You just have to run to the town. And for Adventure level 7, it's quite difficult initially, but this can be more rewarding because you'll be getting a limited time character with Venti. So let me know what you guys think about this style of guide video, and what do you think about the rerolling methods. If you have a great method, definitely share with us in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I wish you guys best of luck with rerolling.